These are my speaker's notes. Here is my audience. Who here is feeling down in the dumps? Who feels like life isn't going their way because of a failure? They failed something. Well, I know how you feel. Let me tell you about a man that was in the same situation as you guys, but in the past. I'm going to talk about Abraham Lincoln, his failures, setbacks, and successes. First, I'll let you know what his worst failures were. I'm going to let you know how he overcame them and how you can overcome those failures. Lincoln has many failures, but what were his worst? According to AbrahamLincolnOnline.org, they give us a list, and I picked the ones that I thought were the worst. So he failed his business early in his life. He lost a legislative race. His sweetheart died, which may or may have not led to his nervous breakdown later in his life. He defeated a speaker. He also lost a vice president race. So Lincoln, he was defeated in 8 elections, but how has he become a president? He was constant, he was persistent, he never gave up. Some more successes of Abraham Lincoln. Well, we all know that the most obvious one is that he's a president. That's what he's mainly known for. But what was behind his presidential elections? What was before his presidency? He was elected House of Illinois. He was re-elected for the legislature of Illinois. And what he is mainly known for now, what we say him by, is that he led the Congress. Well, he was elected into the Congress, and he led the U.S. He defeated the Confederacy Army, which later led to the Emancipation Proclamation, and he attempted to abolish slavery in that Emancipation Proclamation. And he said this in the Gettysburg Address, which states 77 years ago, the famous statement. This occurred 4 months after the Union Army defeated the Confederacy Army, and this was in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. But how did Lincoln go from the lowest to being a president? Well, we all know business leaders, authors, celebrities, sports stars, they all have their moments in the sun. But once they hit rock bottom, they claw themselves out onto the top of the hill. And they end up inspiring the world, inspiring people around them. But when failure is fresh and it's your failure, it's hard to believe that it can be recovery or you can have success. It seems impossible. And even small failures, they can seem like there's a stalk. They stalk you, and it's like a dark cloud chasing you constantly around. And others, they may question your abilities, but you have to undermine your self-assurance. You have to undermine your self-assurance so that you can prove to others that you have more abilities than they think you do. Another person I would like to mention is Nelson Mandela. He is a very inspirational man. He died recently, a couple years ago. He was in prison for 27 years, and he was the first president of South Africa in the democratic election. He had a scrap of paper in prison with him, and on that piece of paper it wrote, from William Ernest Henley, the poem Invictus. It was the end of the poem, which stated, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. In conclusion, Lincoln, he went through 8 failures in his life, 8 elections failures. He led us out of the Civil War, and he led us out into the Civil War, and preferably no other U.S. president went through so much hardships and failures as he did. He also was known for a famous quote. He stated, "I have lost every other friend on earth. I shall at least have one friend left, and that friend shall it be known inside of me." You have to be loyal. You have to have loyalty for yourself, and you have to embrace that weakness and shortcoming, and you have to work to the top of the hill. You have to work yourself so that won't be your weakness. It won't be your shortcomings. It will be your strengths. And even though you cannot control your negative people around you, your negative opinions of people around you, but with your self-acceptance, you can block out that noise. Thank you.
You guys want to hear a fun fact?
Here is my audience.